So this is what we're going to need to connect these actuators to the legs. That'll be the leg movement. Damn it! That's pretty cool. Attach a little piece of wire here. If I got a couple of those actuators and then had them push up like this. So this is what we're going to need to connect these actuators to the legs of the electrocution prop. First of all, I've got this power adapter here. This is a 12 volt 8 amp adapter. We're going to use this to drive the Arduino Uno and the relays and these actuators, as well as the LEDs that we have here. And the relays will be connected and driving the two actuators. We'll program that into the Uno, how we want those to fire to move the legs up and down. And I thought it would be kind of cool to put a couple of LEDs so that they fire in unison. And I don't know how we'll attach that, maybe some tape or a zip tie or whatever. But I thought that would be kind of neat to have the light shooting out of the bottom of the foot. I got two of those. These are pre-wired already with resistors already in them, if you can make that out. And of course the actuators, these are 12 volt door lock actuators for your automobile. Pop your lock open and then shut it. I would imagine the current gets reversed to pull the locks back down. But that doesn't have any application here because we'll be using weight. We'll be pushing these closed so they'll fire up from the current, and then the weight of the leg is going to push it back down. They're more than heavy enough to drive these back down. I bought a bunch of these, maybe attach them to the ends. I'm not sure yet. This is the power cable coming out of our power supply. And what we're going to actually need also is this here, this female connector. And we'll connect that there, and then you'll see we've got positive and negative here coming out. We're going to split that off and run that to the various things. So I guess the first thing that we're going to do is wire up the Uno here. Of course, we've done that a million times in a million other videos. You can check out the playlist. We've got a whole playlist on the $20 prop controller. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I'm not really going to explain what I'm doing because, again, you can refer to the previous playlists. Alright, so that's wired up, and I'm not going to connect the rest of this stuff. There's a spot here for the PIR sensor. We're not going to use the MP3 player. We're also not going to be using here, so we don't need the rest of that stuff wired up. And these pins feel a little loose to me, so I'm going to add a little hot glue on there and make sure that they don't come popping off. We'll test it for continuity as well after this glue dries. While we're waiting for that, I can go ahead and figure out how I'm gonna connect this to distribute power. I'm gonna need some wire, and all I really have is the speaker wire as far as stranded wire goes, and I'd really rather not use that. I think what I'm going to do is use more of the same kind of wire that I used for the prop, which is left over from my arcade build, which I have a lot of this stuff. I got a ton of it. I think what I'll also do is combine this Arduino into the same control box as the other one. Maybe put a piece of cardboard or something separating them, or a piece of foam or something, just so that there isn't any accidental contact. But I'm not going to go and make up a whole other control box. Again, this will be a situation where I'm going to want some kind of a quick disconnect on these relays. So I'm going to need wire that's at least as long as the leg, even longer, because it'll have to go all the way back to the control board. So it's going to be pretty long pieces of wire I'm going to need here. I think that hot glue gun's hot enough. Maybe we can glue this down now. Alright, so the glue is dry on this. Alright, I'm going to check for continuity between these two boards because I wasn't too confident in the looseness of the wire. Alright, that one's good. That one's good. That one's good. And that one's good. And I suppose I could check power just for the heck of it. The power and the ground. And then the ground. Good. So this needs to be programmed, and what I'll do is I'll copy the same electrocution program that we're using for the main Arduino board. That way I'll be able to easily modify the legs. I'll be able to tell by looking at the screen, you know, what I want to have happen. The other thing I do have to do here also is connect the trigger switch is 11 and ground. So I need to wire these two into the other Arduino for it to trigger this board to fire the event. Although I should probably wait on that part because I need to get this board programmed first. That'll be the next step. I want to get the sequence loaded in there and then connect it to the other Arduino. So this is done for now. So I need some wire that's at least that long. So this extra amount to go from one leg to the other. And then we'll start here. Get the same amount of wire. These are our wires for the legs now. It's all cut off. So I'm trying to think of if there's a reason I need to have any kind of a disconnection on this, or if I can just solder this on here or use wire nuts or something. I can't think of a reason that I would want to disconnect that. But is it going to be easier to run the wires down the legs or up them? And I think down's probably the right answer there. So connecting these is probably going to be with wire nuts. That'll be the simplest thing for me. These tips, of course, have to come off. I don't have whatever these little plugs are on here. I don't really know which one of these is negative, though. Is it the green or the blue? That'll be the leg movement. And blue is positive. Okay, so I mentioned that I wanted to be able to quickly disconnect the actuators from the relays, and they'll be connected by this long wire. So I've got these, I might as well use them. And I've also got these. So we'll have wires coming out like this, connected to each one of the actuators, and then on the other end, one of these. And then coming out of the relays, we'll wire this in so that this can sit in that same prop controller box. So it'll be something like this with these two coming out of the relays, and each leg will connect like this. So I'll go ahead and attach these connectors to the wire that I cut earlier. Hello? is going on here? A bad connector? I do. You know what the problem is though? If I connect this now, I'll have to fish this whole wire up the leg. I'll do that again if I tried. Hey, success. Is this even the right one, or did I do the shorter one? Oh, brilliant. I think this is the shorter one. It's the wrong leg. Damn it! So I decided I'll just do the soldering down at the floor to connect these to this wire. Or maybe I'll just use wire nuts, keep it simple. That should work. I'm probably going to have to cut a section out here so that I can attach this actuator to this PVC. This can go across or behind or something. Like this. Follow this wire and go up to here. So that works out. Braid all of this stuff together into one cable and run it all out the back or whatever. So I guess the next step is to get these things attached somehow. This is going to be really tough with all this obstruction. That's why retrofitting props is a pain in the ass. So I think the best thing for me to do is to cut a section of this off and then tape it back on later with some Gorilla Tape. Then connect this and cut a big hole in this shoe. So I'm going to assume I need at least this much, so we'll go up here and I'll cut from here down. Hopefully I don't cut my wire. PVC wants to rest in the back, so we'll touch this to the front here, like this. You know, this smacking up and down on the ground is probably going to wear or break this plastic after a while. Wonder if I can use one of the old Shiatsu motor rubber pads. These things. That may be something. That's one hell of a big hole I have to make in the shoe now. Jeez, it's like it was made to fit on there. Look at that. Well, that was easy. That'll be enough. Thing is, I've got to get this through that shoe. This big thing. There are screw holes on this. I could theoretically tap right into this PVC. Suppose I should test it out with some zip ties first. Just temporarily. Well, let's see if the thing can even lift it up. Does not appear to be strong enough. Or I've got this too high. That's what I did. Well, that'll work. Let me drill some holes through that. Also, I don't want to forget my LEDs. I do want to connect those shining through the bottom of the feet or through the leg or something. I did want to have them maybe flashing on the floor. I don't know. Fit it in there somehow. Gotta find a screw that size. That's always fun around here. Now, is that little bit enough to hold it into the PVC? That would be better. Too thick. I widen out this plastic a little bit. Assuming this is the leg. This screw would poke right through. Right here at the bottom, which is good. I would get both chunks of PVC at a really solid connection there. I think we'll widen this out a little bit. And I gotta repeat that process on the one on the floor. That's pretty cool. Get the picture now? I don't know why this keeps happening to my bits. Yeah, let me put this away, just the way I found it. Can't be bothered with this bullshit. Should I keep that or should I make it a blooper? Friggin' idiot. Nice work. Dummy. And every time I want to record, here comes the oil burner. Every time, without fail.